Parshas Bechukatai, Shabbos Chazak. Would you believe that we're at Shabbos Chazak again? I don't know where this year is running. We did Chazak of the end of Bereshis, Shemois, and I remember at the end of Shemois we said, before you turn around, it'll be after Pesach, it'll be almost at Shavuos, it'll be the next Chazak, and here we are already. So the year is moving on very quickly. Beginning of the Parsha, very, very beautiful Nesivos Shalom, a beautiful insight into the entire inyan of Bechukatai, of doing mitzvahs, the entire inyan of getting reward for mitzvahs. The pasuk says, "Im Bechukatai telechu." Everybody knows this pasuk. V'es mitzvosai tishmeru. If you will go in the ways of my chukim, the pasuk says, and you will keep the mitzvahs, va'asisem oisam, and you will do them. And the pasuk goes on, the psukim go on and tell you what happens if you keep the mitzvahs. You're zoicha to unbelievable reward. The pasuk continues, "V'nosati gishmeichem b'itam." It starts off with that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you the rain. In other words, rain could also be taiched further. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you your parnasa. He'll give you everything, and not only will HaKadosh Baruch Hu give it to you, but He'll give you all the good things in the right time. Sometimes you can get good things, but you're not able to do something with it. It doesn't come at the right time. It doesn't work out well for you. The pasuk tells you that if you keep the chukim, if you keep the mitzvahs, then you're zoicha to the best type of rewards. So Rashi brings a pshat over here on this pasuk. Rashi says, "B'shem the Torah's kayanim," that you might think that the words in Bechukatai come to teach you that what? Kiyum ha-mitzvahs. I would think that that's what Bechukatai means. So the pasuk continues, says Rashi, the pasuk continues and says, V'es mitzvosai tishmeru. The pasuk tells you a separate thing about doing mitzvahs. That part of the pasuk of V'es mitzvosai tishmeru teaches you about keeping the mitzvahs. So what does in Bechukatai telechu teach you? Bechukatai teaches you, famous Rashi, Shetiyu amelim b'Torah. Note that it doesn't say limud HaTorah here. It says Shetiyu amelim b'Torah. How are you? What are you zoicha to all the rewards? The rewards of Bechukatai is if you are omel b'Torah. So again, just to repeat. V'es mitzvosai tishmeru v'asisem oisam teaches us something a little extra. It teaches us that a person should be, why does it say together in the pasuk? It teaches us that a person has to taka be amel b'Torah. But the amelus b'Torah can't just be for the sake only of amelus b'Torah. It has to be also for v'asisem oisam. A person has to be amel b'Torah in order to keep the Torah. In order to be Mekayim the Torah. It's a wonderful thing to have Amelus Torah, to learn Torah. We all know that that's unbelievable. You get tremendous reward. But the Torah is teaching us that this Amelus Torah, it can't be just a subject. You can't learn in the morning and study other things in the afternoon and they should be a no. You have Amelus Torah and for what reason? You have Amelus Torah to be Mekayim the Torah. That you should keep the Torah. So Nesivos Shalom asks over here, why don't we just say, Taka, why isn't it that the schar, when the Torah says that a person is going to get schar, why isn't there just schar for keeping the mitzvahs? Plain and simple, that's what it really should be. It really should be. You keep the mitzvahs, you get schar. Why, Taka, do we have to go through this whole cheshbon, and why do we have to have this whole limud about amelus b'Torah? That's the first question asks. And then Nesivos Shalom also continues the famous question of the Rambam. The Rambam, we know, the famous Rambam, the Rambam asked the question, whatever happened to the klal that we know, schar mitzvah b'hai al maleka. There is no reward for doing mitzvahs in this world. The reward that we get, and of course we all believe, we're all say animamin b'emunah shalema, that everything that we live in this world, we live in this world for the yoim shekulata, we live in this world for the olam, we live in this world for olam haba. And that's where the schar comes. So we have a klal schar mitzvah b'hai al maleka. There is no reward for mitzvahs in this world. So whatever happened to that? Where the Torah is telling you right now that if you keep Bechukatai telechu, and the Torah lists you off an entire few psukim of reward. I thought there's no reward. So one of the answers that's given over here, and the Nesivos Shalom goes with the Mahalik on this answer. The Nesivos Shalom says that you know when there's no reward for mitzvahs in this world? The Nesivos Shalom says, I'll tell you when there's no reward. There's no reward for the etzah mitzvah. There's no reward for the actual maisa mitzvah that you do. Why is there no reward? And he says a beautiful thing. He says that there's nothing in this world that can pay you for a mitzvah that you do. There's no currency. In order to pay for something, you have to have legal tender, legal currency, something that your mind can understand that this is paying for this. There is no reward, there is no joy, there is no pleasure, there is nothing in this world that can pay you back, can pay you for one single mitzvah. The currency doesn't add up. There's no such thing. So that is schar mitzvah b'haya amaleka. For the etzem maisa mitzvah, for the mitzvah of let's say, in Limud HaTorah, that's V'gisa b'yomim v'loyla, that, the mitzvah of Limud HaTorah, the actual mitzvah, schar mitzvah b'haya amaleka. But, what do you get schar for? And this is very important to know. Nesivos Shalom says the schar that you could get in this world is for the effort that you put into the Limud HaTorah, for the effort that you put into a mitzvah, the way you do the mitzvah, the way you do it, you put in an extra effort. For that, there is schar in Olam Hazeh. That does not go into the cloud of being no reward in this world. It's brought down from the Zohar, and to say something like that, the Zohar brings down that any bracha that a person has in their life, any bracha that you have in Ruchnius, the bracha stems from Shabbos. Shabbos gives Ruchnius to the rest of the week. And anybody who learns Nesivos Shalom knows how much Nesivos Shalom revolves around Shabbos and everything. But every bracha of Ruchnius that you have, it starts from Shabbos. What you put into Shabbos, what Shabbos gives to you, what you give to Shabbos, and that spreads through the rest of the week. But Shabbos is too high of a madrega. Shabbos is too high and too lofty to give you brachas of Gashmias. A person's Gashmias, that does not come from Shabbos. But where does it come from? Where should it come from? We thought that all brachas come from Shabbos. The Nesivos Shalom says, and it brings down from the Zohar, that the brachas of the week, if a person wants bracha in his Gashmias, if a person wants bracha, let's say, in his Parnasa, that comes from Tois Shabbos. That comes from extra things that you do. Just like we said, from the extra that you put into your learning. The Amelus B'Torah, that you could get schar in this world, the same thing is by Shabbos. And it's something that's very, very kedai to remember. Think about when you come tomorrow night and you come to Shabbos, think about not just running into Shabbos and sweating when you come in to screech up 30 seconds before Shabbos and just make it into shul on time. Think about, you give a little extra time to Shabbos. Tois for Shabbos, you know why? Be a little selfish. For the Tois for Shabbos, you can get schar. You get schar of what? You get schar of Gashmias. You get schar of all the good things that you might think you want, and all those things, that comes from Tois for Shabbos. By being ready early, by putting extra effort into Shabbos. So we say here in our parsha, Im Bechukatai telechu, and we say that it means Shetiyu Amelim B'Torah. The schar that's coming to you is not because of the V'gisa b'yomim v'loyla. The V'gisa b'yomim v'loyla is something else. For that there is schar. There's no schar in this world. For the schar of Torah, there's no currency that can pay for that. It's too high. But there is schar for the Hiddur mitzvah. The extra that you put into your learning, the times that it's tough to do. The amelus, that's why Rashi says, Shetiyu amelim b'Torah. You want schar in this world. That you get from Amelus B'Torah. Nesivos Shalom brings out, he says, you have to remember that it's all about how you go about doing things. That extra that you put into it. Hashem wants, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want you just to learn. Doesn't want you to pick up knowledge. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to have Amelus B'Torah. Nesivos Shalom says a little further that we need to remember something that he says, something that's a little sobering. He says, so now we talk about Amelus B'Torah, working in Torah. What does being involved in Torah mean? Being involved in Torah means that you cannot think that you could be kind of Torah along with wanting Oisher and Kavod at the same time. Amelus b'Torah means that you want the schar that you get for Amelus b'Torah is directly relevant to the tsar that you have, the sacrifice that you give for the Torah. If a person thinks he's being Amo b'Torah, but at the same time he's chasing after Oisher v'Chavod, that's not called tsar. That's not called sacrifice. The more you sacrifice, directly related, the more you sacrifice for Torah, the more schar that you get. And we know the Mishnah, Kachi darka shel Torah, pas b'melach toichel. You should have bread with salt, however you want to understand what it means, how it means today. And then we say after that, if you do that, imato oiseh kain ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. If you do this, ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. What do you mean? Ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. There's no schar in this world. If you do this, pas b'melach toichel, ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. If you don't go after luxuries, if you don't go after oisher, if you don't go after kavod, ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. What happened? There's no schar. With what we're saying now, it's beautiful. Because pas b'melach toichel, for the sacrifice that you give, for the extra that you give in your life, then, in the same way as in Bechukatai telechu, for the tsar, for the amelus b'Torah, for the hard work, that's when ashrecha ba'olam hazeh. Everybody wants to know. You want to know how you could get a bracha for parnasa. You want to know how you could get a bracha for good things for your children, whatever it is in this world. That's for giving the extra. Gemara Masechta Avodah Zarah, Daf Yutes Amud Aleph says on the pasuk of Ki im b'soiras Hashem cheftzoi u'b'soirasoi yege yomim v'loylach. He points out in this pasuk that at the beginning of the pasuk is called Torahs Hashem. The pasuk is called Hashem's Torah, right? Ki im b'soiras Hashem cheftzoi. It's called Torahs Hashem. But at the end of the pasuk, u'b'soirasoi yege yomim v'loylach. Why are we switching from Torahs Hashem to your Torah? That's what he's talking about. After you work on it, ki im b'soiras Hashem cheftzoi. But u'b'soirasoi yege yomim v'loylach. If you come home from work, and then it's Laila, and it's hard to go to the Beis Medrash. You come home, and sometimes you had a rough day, and it's time to go out to Yeshir, and here goes our train. We only have another couple of weeks till we're evicted, so we got to appreciate and enjoy the train that reminds us that we're saying the Shir every week. That the more you work on it, it becomes your Torah. If you work on it and you sacrifice, then you're Zoicha to the Kesed Torah. And that's the schar that's promised to us in our parsha. Schar for the work. Schar for the harder you work, the more the schar you get. The parsha continues and says the reward. I just want to point out, Nesivos Shalom says this is the ultimate reward. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be with you and come close to you. We can't ask for anything more. We do not see this bracha, we do not see this anywhere else in the Torah. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells you that when you give up of yourself, and you give HaKadosh Baruch Hu something extra, and you give a nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're zoicha to the highest level of Vayikra B'Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells you, V'nosati mishkani b'soichechem. I'm going to come to your house. V'salachti b'soichechem. You're going to walk down the street, I'm going to go with you. You don't see that anywhere else. Only for giving extra. And Maisa, we're less than 3 weeks now. We're less than 3 weeks to Shavuos. 3 days before Lag BaOmer. We need to focus on what we need to accomplish to attain the Kesed Torah, to get this Amelus b'Torah, to work on the Torah, not stam to come Shavuos and say, okay, give me the Torah. To work on it and be able to get the rewards from the Torah. Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to give us the reward, to learn, even when it's not so simple. It's not always easy. Life isn't always perfect. But that's what Amelus b'Torah is. Yes, mitzvosai tishmeru. We were saying keep the mitzvahs, but in Bechukatai telechu shetiyu amelum b'Torah. And if you're amo b'Torah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that you're sacrificing, you'll get the brachas sai beruchnius, and you'll get an olam haba. But also you'll get the brachas of gashmius that it's promised us in the parsha. Beautiful.